Of integrity. It is a great basketball time, and the great Shanae Agumbuke is back with us here.
So excited.
It has been much too long.
It has been.
Since you have made.
I'm just here to make you always feel short. So
yes.
They said it was about time.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Quite literally, it's been too long since you've made me feel short in my own studio. We will get to the brackets coming up, but let's go through the NBA action from yesterday first. We had the Lakers and the Suns. You got Luka Doncic, who always torches Phoenix, and you pick it up. They went on a 9-0 run in the first quarter.
Look, I love what Luka has been doing. He's been aggressive from the jump. When he first started becoming a Laker, I think he was a little passive, but now he's got his legs under him, and now he's staring down the game's best in Kevin Durant.
And then no one can explain this one to me, and we're going to hear some. Where's the defense?
I don't know. This should just give you the summary of the Phoenix Suns season thus far.
It's quite insane. He's just standing there all by himself, and even Luka himself didn't understand it.
I've never been open so much in my life. You're not getting out in the playoffs, you know that.
Well, honey, Phoenix, it's the playoffs for you.
Yeah.
Right now, you're like the play-in.
That's exactly right. Playoffs, as Jim Moore might have said. Meanwhile, more from Doncic. Lakers up by 12 after 3, and then more from Luka in the fourth quarter. He would finish with 33 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. KD had 21, but not near enough. Lakers get the win, their first win since LeBron, who you see there, goes down. And the story from Shams before the game was that LeBron had an on-court workout, his first that we're aware of since he got hurt March 8th. Looks like he's going to miss at least another week. What do you see from the Lakers right this moment, right now, considering the circumstances with LeBron?
Look, that win was absolutely necessary because they were trying to stop the bleeding, and I think Luka Doncic understood that. I saw some of the video of LeBron James warming up, and it was really important because what I really like is that Luka Doncic understands the value of LeBron, and he also understands his own value, and we saw that. Also, Austin Reeves, between Luka and Reeves, they combined for 61 points and 14 assists. So they understood that LeBron James makes things easier for everybody else, but we cannot rely just on him. That has been the learning experiment right here. But when I look at this Lakers team, obviously defense is going to be the biggest question mark, especially without LeBron, who has guarded so many different positions. But what I do like is that they are aggressive offensively, they're sound defensively, and most importantly, they're well coached. You have to credit Redick for what he's done so far. You know, to lose LeBron, now have Luka, get that feel-good game back. Luka's on, I think, 7 straight games of 30-plus points. A lot of people were critical, Dallas most notably, of his physique and his willingness to do whatever it takes to win. It looks like he's doing exactly that for the Lakers, exactly when that's needed the most, because they only have a 3-game buffer between now being around like 4 or 5 in the 6th position to really ensure the playoffs. Yeah,
you want to stay out of the play-in if you're the Lakers at all costs. And obviously, when LeBron was there, they were playing really good defense. So we'll see. They get him back as soon as they can. Let's go through some of the other action yesterday. The Cavaliers brought a 16-game win streak into their matchup with Orlando and just clear the decks here. Shanae, how about Donovan Mitchell?
Hello. This is why he is a superhero. They call him Spider-Man. And by the way, y'all, I watched this game from the plane. Shout out to Wi-Fi up there in Delta. But being able to see what this Cavaliers team has done, even without Mobley, was impressive.
Mitchell getting his own rebound and puts it back. He had 23. Cavs have a 1-point lead. We're 2 minutes left in the game. Magic are down by 3, but they're not going away. KCP to tie it.
Let me tell you, these guys in Orlando, they fight. Paolo Banchero came on strong late as well.
Max Strus down 2, gives Cleveland a 1-point lead. Ensuing possession, back to Banchero. He finds space. He had 24 points, 11 rebounds. Magic a 1-point lead. 20 seconds left. Cavs down 3. Streak on the line.
Oh, so many opportunities, but just a little too late.
And it's over. The Cavaliers' 16-game winning streak snapped by Orlando yesterday. Cavs have had 2 win streaks of at least 15 consecutive wins. So earlier we heard from the NBA Countdown crew out there in LA in your absence, and they were talking about which team they believe in the Eastern Conference. And it sort of feels like there's this universal belief that the Celtics remain the team to beat, even though Cleveland has been better from the minute the season started. What do you think?
So the more impressive team is the Boston Celtics, just because we all know how potent they are, even when they're not 100%. There have been games without Kristaps Porzingis, they found a win. There have been games without a number of their other key players. They still are at number 2 in the East. And it feels like they're just a sleeping giant, just waiting to be awoken. And they understand that, hey, we need to be good enough to have a good seed, but we also need to be good enough to be able to turn it on when it matters most. And so the Celtics, to me, are still the team to beat in basketball. But the team with the most incredible season has to be Cleveland. A lot of people thought that you can't play two bigs. Well, guess what? They have. A lot of people thought Donovan Mitchell, is he capable of leading a team? Guess what? He has, with the exception of yesterday. Obviously, that was a great win for the Orlando Magic. But overall, what I love is this is a team that, when we talk about the Celtics, the Cavaliers, they have the best three-point percentage. They understand that new modern style. They also have a solid defense. So I feel like they're ratcheting things up just like Boston to be able to be there and play their best basketball when it matters most.
The other thing, and maybe this just ceases to be a factor once you win a championship, which they did, and that can never be taken away from them. But the Celtics of this era have also historically been a team prone sometimes to losing to teams they shouldn't. I mean, that was always the rap on them. And last year, their path was sort of a friendly one, if you will.
I see where you're going.
And so the question, I mean, running into a Cleveland team, they won't have home court advantage in that series if they should meet in the Eastern Conference Final. Yes, I get it. Right now, if you asked me to bet my money on it, I would bet on the Celtics. But I would not be the least bit surprised if Cleveland beat them.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either, because they made a huge win at the trade deadline. I know we talk about Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis, but DeAndre Hunter is supposed to be the Boston Celtics stopper, because he's that guy on the wing that can really be long and defend. Because if you think about Garland and Mitchell, they don't have that much size. So they made a move to really show that they want to win a championship right now, but they're going to have to beat the team that just won first before I put all my chips in the middle of the table on Cleveland.
Meanwhile, the best team in the NBA is Oklahoma City. The best player in the NBA is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, taking on Giannis and the Bucks yesterday. So that's the first leading scorer against the second leading scorer in the league. Giannis getting it done early.
Don't let that fool you. The Thunder had Giannis clamped, I think only like 4 points in the first half.
Yeah, he finished with 21, but this was all SGA. He goes left hand there. Thunder up by 12 at the break. More from the Thunder. Look, they double team SGA. Look what winds up happening.
Yeah, this is not fair. This is beautiful basketball. That's exactly what you expect when you double team the guy who's likely going to be MVP. You have to make him pay by the others, and they did exactly that.
And if you don't double team him, he does that. 31 points for SGA, creating space. 62 consecutive games of at least 20 points for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then he's got Chet Holmgren doing work inside. 16 for Chet in this game. And look, a little flex from the big fella, feeling
that
good.
That is a little flex, because I think my arms are bigger.
See, I can't say that, but you can. 121, 105.
No shade, just
in your case, it's true, and in my case, it's not. But I opened it by saying they're the best team, and he's the best player. Am I right on both of those?
You are correct. Now, I know in the standings it will say Cleveland Cavaliers at number 1, but the Oklahoma City Thunder are only one more loss than the Cleveland Cavaliers. Look, he is playing the best basketball right now, that guy, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, than anybody else in the NBA. And the crazy thing is people don't really account the garbage time, because they have a lot of wins by plus 10, going into the third quarter, going into the midway through the fourth quarter. So he doesn't necessarily play throughout the entirety of the games. But y'all, he is leading the league in scoring, and he's having a season shooting free throws in the same clip of like James Harden prime in Houston and Michael Jordan. But it's also the fact that he's a two-way player. He's number 3 in steals, again, leading a team who is without arguably their second best or third best, however you want to call it, J-Dub and Chet Holmgren, player for most of the season.
Yeah.
Give this man his flowers and his respect while it's due.
I think he's minus 800 at ESPN Bet for MVP right now, so he seems like a runaway favorite. More NBA with Stephen A. coming up. In the meantime, proof that we can take anyone's name and make it into a game as we look at the women's brackets. We broke down the men's brackets earlier this morning with Seth.